for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mackenzie, if you could do roll call, please.
Commissioner Grabowski. Here. Commissioner Hoff. Here. Commissioner Belt.
Here.
Commissioner Liebert.
Here.
Commissioner Jelassic.
Here.
Trustee Rhodey.
Here.
President Knutson is excused.
President Knutson is at the 120th anniversary party for the Women's Club of Pewaukee. There are no public hearings. We go to citizens' comments. I think everybody is here with the school. Okay. Approvals of the minutes. Did everybody have a chance to review those?
Hit your mic, bud. Sorry.
There we go. Okay, were they satisfactory? Can I have a motion to accept?
Grabowski will make a motion to approve.
Have a motion? Second?
Teresa.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No one? No old business. We go to new business. The review, discussion, and possible action on the proposed building plan and architectural site plan review to modify portions of Pewaukee High School, demolishing the 1,690 square feet and construct 34,950. And this is obviously part of the school district property. If we want to start out, did you want to make any statements or talk about the project? And John, if you could just state your name then also for.
Hi, I'm John Gann, Assistant Superintendent, Chief Financial Officer with Pewaukee School District. We're excited to bring this project to the board. We came to this group back in July with the first element, the site work and some of the engineering work that was going to be done outside on the project. Tonight we get to bring you for approval the exterior, those elevations, and really show you what this project is going to look like. From the history of working with the village on previous projects, we understand some of the design concepts and the outcomes that are desired for what buildings are going to look like in the village of Pewaukee. And our architecture team at Epstein Ewen has worked really hard to come up with a design that meets those and meets, or as we feel, exceeds some of those standards. So I guess if you want to have any questions or anything, and then we can answer if you have anything. So.
Does the board have any, the commission have any questions? Okay. With that, then I will pass it on to Ben.
Yeah. Thank you. As you mentioned, this is the second phase. The first phase back in July, I believe it was, there was a recommendation of approval for the building expansion size and also the associated landscaping, general layout, and engineering. And so this is coming forward as the, I should also mention, this is going to be for the architectural elements, site plan, finalization, and the other elements on the architecture, such as the lighting plans, kind of a performance standard. So the submittal includes an updated building site plan application, a previously submitted phase construction document, a site demolition plan, site layout plan, site signage and traffic control plan. There's a grading plan, utility plans, erosion control, and a landscape plan. And also updates with this submittal, there you are presented with an architectural site plan, concept design imagery and diagrams, overall and enlarged building floor plans, elevation drawings. You have a material palette information, perspectives of the building additions with exterior, exterior material identifications, site lighting photometrics, and site lighting cut sheets, which give you a greater detail on the actual light fixtures to show you the shielding. So I'll just kind of go through the basics here. So the floor area ratio for the zoning district is up to 30%. This proposal meets that. We kind of determined that on the size the last time. Building height, we now have that. It's 27 feet 8 inches, I believe. And that comes in under the 42-foot maximum height for the district, and it's a school building, but we still kind of want to monitor that. This came in under that, so that's satisfactory. Setback hasn't changed. The offset has not changed. So your 20 to 30 feet next to a residentially zoned lot is a standard. This is meeting that requirement. Building materials and architecture, so those standards are in section 40.447. That's kind of how we're going to gauge whether or not this meets those standards or not, the bare minimum, and the Plan Commission certainly can weigh in as well on some of those elements. Based on the architectural review, the building scale and mass, this is talked about in 40.447. This is the relative proportion of a building to its neighboring existing buildings. The code talks about this needing to be maintained, just generally how it fits in. So this standard's met with the proposed architectural plans presented. The building roof lines and roof shapes, that's also called out in the zoning code to be monitored and looked at with this. This standard is met with the proposed architectural plans. The materials, we kind of gauge this based on retail, office, building construction, but what they did as well is, if you notice in their submittal, they looked at the existing architecture of the school building, the materials involved there, and staff did find that it feels that this standard is met with proposed architecture plans, but Plan Commission can certainly weigh in on that. The colors, it talks about buildings shall generally reflect earth tone colors. And I believe the architects did, consider that with the design of and material colors. So this standard's met with this proposal. Building design and compatibility. We kind of refer to proposed office and retail building designs, but again, we kind of wrap this into the school proposal. We did find that it does meet this standard, so we're not concerned about that. The design portfolio, they kind of showed other examples, I believe, kind of around the area, and so I think it did find that the architectural plans did meet that standard as well. So as far as the site and operation improvements, this is kind of repurposed from our last meeting in July primarily. I'll just draw your attention to subsection F, where I believe they are now showing 99 stalls. I know they were kind of maybe redesigning that a little bit coming into this meeting. So there are 99 stalls, which includes 4 handicap accessible stalls. And so that was kind of determined as meeting the standards at last July meeting. So no real issues there. Landscaping, we did find that everything was okay. We did find that the interior parking lot island planting requirements at the July meeting were met, and that's kind of called out in 40.445 of the zoning code standards. So staff finds that that is appropriate. Exterior lighting, generally everything's okay. The one question for the Plan Commission, though, I'd like to bring your attention to, are you okay with the lights being on past 11 p.m.? As the ordinance requires lights to be turned off 1/2 hour after closing time, but that's just one of these things. Security lights can be turned on, left on. There are going to be lights in the parking lots. I don't know what the plans are for that. If the Plan Commission has any concerns or ideas on that, I would like to hear maybe some conversation on that. So the lighting intensity plan and the styles of lighting, they meet the zoning code standards, so we're not concerned about that. Signage, I don't think there's really anything proposed here, so no general concerns there. Engineering plans, we were generally okay with that. I know the village engineer looked at the plans from July, and then the latest revisions presented tonight had no concerns. So generally staff is okay with those. So going into the recommendation, should the Village of Pewaukee Plan Commission find any of the items called out in my staff summary to be discussed, if you find it satisfactory, you can certainly recommend approval. And then I am presenting to you some of the conditions with this report. There are 11 conditions called out. Are there any questions or concerns? I don't know if the applicants have seen my staff report, and I don't know if the commission has any questions.
Any input from the commission on any parts that he just reviewed?
I do have a question on the lighting. Is the lighting on the building the same color temperature as the parking lot? Are they both 5,000? I couldn't find the
That
one.
I would defer, I'd have to look at the actual plans.
Yeah, I couldn't find it on
I
the
don't know if you know off
plan.
the top of your
The parking lot lights are 5,000, but I can't see what the sconces are on the outside of the building.
I'm not sure what's specified from our electrical engineers, but we can double check and get back to you on that.
Okay.
Does anyone have any issues with the lights remaining on that they need for security? No. No. Okay with that. Thank you. Okay. All right. Matt?
Thank you, Chairman. Very, very late this evening, I received 3 recommendations from the DPW regarding additional staff conditions that weren't part of the planner's original memo.
Okay.
So what the DPW requested was, and I know this is the first time you guys are hearing this, to provide the water main easement for review, approval, and recording in the county prior to issuance of the building permit, and to provide a PDF of that easement to the village so we get a record. To provide record drawings for the utilities, including televising the sanitary sewer lateral. And then the last one is to provide financial guarantees for the public water main, record drawings, and landscape. So those are to protect the public utilities, obviously, but that, like I said, it's the first time that there concerns. So I don't know if it's okay with the village attorney, if the conditions are to the best of our ability to pursue these.
They sound reasonable to me. They're standard conditions. I don't see anything that would be unreasonable. This is a site plan approval, so it doesn't have the same hoops that we have to jump through with a conditional use, so they are reasonable. I think they just need to be clear, and we need to make sure, since the district is hearing it for the first time tonight, that they understand and, I guess, not necessarily agree, but if they're going to be imposed, that they understand what they need to do to satisfy those. So the short answer is it's satisfactory to read those into the record and have them adopted as part of the Plan Commission approval, if that's what you're asking.
Correct. Yeah, the other kind of part B of that request is there any wiggle room for staff in defining those conditions as we work with the school?
Which one in particular, or all of them?
All of them.
I mean, there is, and the commission can certainly defer to staff review and approval. We've done that in the past, and if it's something that staff is not comfortable with, we would bring it back to the commission.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
So,
Commission have an opinion on that.
We can make a recommendation with them and just with both sets of we can make a motion with both sets of recommendations and say, if there's any issue, they can all be handled with these, that we refer to staff for approval, and if staff is not comfortable, bring it back.
yeah.
Do we have a second?
Oh,
Was that a
Was that a motion?
no, not an official one, but I'll make an official one. So Grabowski makes a motion to approve with both the DPW and planner's recommendations. Additionally, the board will allows any issues with those recommendations to be handled at staff level, should the school district have any issue, and then if staff is uncomfortable handling it at that issue, to bring it back to the board. That makes sense.
It did.
That was very wordy, sorry.
It did. Could you just make a specific finding as well on the lighting? Because I think the ordinance does require.
Okay. So it looks like they're providing 4,000 Kelvin as a temperature.
Was it more for the time?
The timing, yes.
The timing,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the light color, I mean, that's their plan.
Yeah, that's the plan,
The
so.
finding that the ordinance requires is on the timing.
Sure. And I'll amend my motion to add the approval of the parking lot lights being on past 11 p.m.
Okay, so we've got a motion with amended motion. Do we have a second?
Second, Belt.
We have a second from Bell. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? No one? Okay. Recommendation is accepted with those conditions. With that, citizen comments again? Okay. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Liebert will make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion. Do I have a second? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No one? Thank you very much.
I can get used to these.
Thank you.
This is all because of the referendum.